Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Sammy. How you doing? Today's video, we're going to talk about 3.27. We're going to recap all the latest news that we have been getting in reference to the new Keepers of the Flame League, which is coming in the end of October. And before we get into that, I'm also going to just give you a quick overview of what happens to the old league, the Mercenaries League, for those of you that maybe aren't familiar. And then at the end, I'm going to kind of give you kind of what's been going on with me lately, content-wise, live stream. And there's a lot of stuff that's been happening lately with the platforms that I create content on and live stream. And I'm talking specifically of the recent events that happened at TwitchCon, kind of the changes that are going on with YouTube, how it's impacting myself and my content, just a little flavor and update on what's going on in this hollow mind of mine. Anyway, let's get into some POE stuff. The Mercenary League, it's going to end on October 27th, and Grinding Gear Games has already confirmed that they do plan on adding that content, the mercenary mechanic, into the core of Path of Exile, but it's not going to be ready for 3.27 because it requires a lot of adjusting, a lot of rebalancing, and they want to figure out how it's going to fit into the core game. So it's not going to be added in 3.27, but it is going to come in the future. Okay, so you might be asking, if you're new to Path of Exile, well, then what happens to my stuff? What happens to my progress? That kind of thing. So items that you have given your mercenary will be placed in remove only tabs in the standard league. So for those of that you don't know, all your stuff from every league, when the league ends, gets moved over to the standard league, and the mercenaries themselves will be deleted. Trathon gems, say that 3 times, I know I butchered it, will be a new reward that we can get from the gem chests and heist, and the mercenary league specific uniques will move into the global drop pool. And for those of you that are really new, every time there is a new league, you have to re-level a new character. 3.27, this is what we know. 3.27, we already know the name. It's called Keepers of the Flame. The live reveal is going to be in a couple of days, October 23rd, and it's going to drop on October 31st. We pretty much know that this is going to be a huge class rebalancing. And Grinding Gear Games has done several interviews on this, and they went really hard on the fact that this is going to be 3.27, that is going to be a major reshuffling and class rebalancing. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they come up with, as always. And we've gotten a lot of updates on what to expect for 3.27. Obviously, the full story is going to come, and reveal is going to come on October 23rd. But there's been a lot of quality of life features that are going to be added to the game. First and foremost, there's going to be asynchronous trade. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So POE 2, congratulations. It's now in POE 1, and Path of Exile 1 players rejoice. Asynchronous trade, beautiful quality of life. Everybody loves it. And no surprise, it's coming to Path of Exile 1 and 3.27. Congratulations. Other quality of life things is, as we know, before we get into more quality of life, heist is going to be the league mechanic. And one of the knocks against heist, although I gotta admit I wasn't a huge heist player in Path of Exile, one of the knocks from what I've read is that you kind of had to level up to get to the maximum level to get the maximum reward. So there was a grind there, a mountain to climb. That has been removed, and we've been told that we're going to start at the highest level without all the busy work. So we're going to be able to reap the rewards much quicker and faster. So for players that are very familiar with heist, they were all rejoicing with this. The grind, it's not there. We're going to be able to hit the high level stuff right off the bat, apparently. But again, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of how I took the information from what I've heard. And obviously, we'll learn more on October 23rd. Some other massive quality of life features that have been added in Keepers of the Flame 3.27. We now can instantly refund our entire passive tree, and get this, also our Atlas passive tree, and it's unbelievable. Now, what we don't know is how costly it's going to be with in-game gold. For those of you that don't know, you can refund and respec points by using your in-game currency, the gold. Now, the question is, how expensive or not expensive is it going to be? Hopefully it's the latter. That will give us a lot of flexibility and freedom, but a huge, huge quality of life. Also, for those of you that are huge farmers of stacked decks, and a lot of people are, it's very annoying when we got large amounts, dubious amounts of stacked decks, of opening them up one at a time. It was so labor intensive. Well, opening huge stacks of hard-earned stacked decks is now going to be so much simpler. So there's two ways you can do this. You can hold down Control and right-click to open your cards automatically, and they will open up in your character's inventory. And for those of you that like dropping them on the ground, you can also hold down Shift to open them directly into the ground, whichever is your preference. Bottom line, huge quality of life. These things were really annoying when you had large sums of them. So big win. So 3.27 is looking like a major class rebalance, and a lot of new quality of life features that are coming into Path of Exile 1, which is huge news. And obviously, Heist being the league mechanic, a lot of people like that mechanic. But that's what we have so far for Path of Exile 1's new league 3.27. Don't miss out the live reveal on October 23rd, and it goes live on October 31st. Okay, so I wanted to kind of communicate some of the thought processes I've been having in this hollow head of mine lately. You know, if you're a longtime follower of my content, you'll see the ebbs and flows where we were really hustling for a while. My content on YouTube is just over 2 years old. So I'm a fairly new channel, and we've had our fair's ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and we're currently in a valley, and some of it I'll take the blame for, because at the end of the day, I'm the one that controls my content. But I would also like to talk about all these ebbs and flows that come with YouTube changing how things work. And it's clear that the last 4 or 5 weeks, they made some drastic changes. It's impacting everybody. But when you're a huge channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you feel it, but it's not, I would dare say, as impactful because you got a huge following. So the shrinkage, it's there, you notice it, but you're still getting a ton of views. And to me, I'll be honest with you, of course you need subscribers, but to me, my critical KPI, the component that I look for, what keeps me up at night, what drives me to make better content, is I want more eyes on my content because it just naturally feeds the ecosystem of YouTube. And the more eyes that are getting on my content, the more conversations people are throwing at me, and the more dialogue and back and forth I'm having. And to be honest with you, I think it's a give and take relationship where hopefully you're winning and becoming more knowledgeable. I know I am, by reading a lot of the comments and engaging with a lot of the comments. So to me, the views are more important than the subscriptions. Although subscriptions obviously is a 1A. You need it in order to thrive on YouTube. But YouTube has made some changes that's impacting everybody. And for a small channel like me, I have felt it greatly. My performance over the last 5 or 6 weeks, as far as my content, has been nowhere near what it has been prior to that. And it was a major shock to myself. And I got to say, it kind of knocked me down a little bit mentally. So I just want to say, please, you'll see the ups and downs with me posting content. And that's a mixture of a couple of things. Number one, what I just talked about, that had a big impact on it. But number two, just the ebbs and flows of the games that I'm covering, specifically Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. When there's a lull in information, I'm not going to do clickbait videos. I'm not going to create gotcha videos with flashy YouTube comment titles, and you know what I mean? That's not my style. And it may hurt me in the long run, but this is a decision that I've been really thinking about, because I did fall to that thing where I was like, well, if I want this to get into more eyes, I have to do the clickbaity kind of title. Now, it was never false. It was never fake. But I just don't like these gotcha titles. So I'm going to stick to my guns, and it's probably going to hurt my performance on YouTube, but I just don't feel right doing it. And again, this might, kill my channel and really put a major roadblock in what one of my goals is with this work that I'm doing on YouTube. And that is, I want this to be my full-time career once I'm done with my IRL career. So only time will tell, but I hope you'll stick around and find out what's going to happen. And I do appreciate the support of all you that have been here since day one. It really goes a long way. Thank you. And a lot of you are with me as well on my live streams, but I'm getting a little concerned. Now, I talked about YouTube and them changing the game, and that's not just on me, that's on everybody. And I'm new to YouTube. Like I said, 2 years is nothing. So I'm coping and trying to navigate that. So just bear with me, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to lie. I have thought a couple of times, just forget it. I'm not playing this game. It's not worth it. But I love, and I'm so passionate about video games, and specifically about the games that I cover, that I just can't see myself walking away. There are times when I go through a period where I don't create content for a couple of days, and I don't live stream those days as well, and I just feel a void. So to me, that's a signal that I'm meant to be here and I'm meant to do this. So I'm gonna tough it out, and it's on me. This is not a poor me cry for Sammy video. No, I gotta pull up my pants, get to work, and continue to work as hard as I have been in order to get over this hurdle, because we're gonna hopefully figure it out. But that's YouTube. Okay, now let's talk about where I live stream. Now, I multi-stream on multiple platforms. I stream on YouTube and I stream on Twitch. And I have to say, what happened at TwitchCon over the past weekend, some of these content creators, large content creators, that apparently got sexually assaulted, security, Twitch kind of trying to cover it up at the beginning, and it wasn't until a video came out, and then they put a permanent ban on this other streamer that allegedly sexually assaulted this other streamer, large streamer. I have to say, and I watched last night, I watched a YouTube video that Osman did, and I take what he says with, that it's true to a certain degree. This is a guy that's been, as he said, live streaming on Twitch for 10 years. And he's basically saying Twitch is a dying it's dying. It's in the numbers, and he's right. I looked at the numbers, and also he thinks that the marketing team, anyone that goes on Twitch right now, and I've experienced it myself. I tested it. The amount of ads that is on a non-subscriber is just unbelievable. They're making the viewer experience really horrible, and I feel I feel for the people that are not subs, have to go onto a channel and they got to watch 3-4 minutes of ads. I'm a little bit in muddied water right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just wanted to bring this topic up because I am assessing what's going on right now with Twitch. I want to see, because Osman has a lot of pull, and what he says reverberates through a lot of channels. So, he called out and said, hopefully someone at Amazon will see this and take care of it, because, he says that basically that's probably the last TwitchCon that's going to happen after what happened. I just wanted to bring this up because I am considering and watching what's going on, because if things don't change, we might have to, what they say, right? If you don't like your situation, you either change your mindset about the situation or you change the situation. And I don't like this situation. I don't think what happened to that streamer is right. I definitely do not like how Twitch reacted to it. That's not a good sign. I think it's a sign of weakness, if you ask me. If you made a mistake, you fess up, you own up to it, you take your lumps, and you move on. People will respect you more than trying to make excuses, trying to hide it. At least that's what it looked like from me looking from the outside, okay? So I don't like that. That's some shady shit. And I don't like shady people. I like to hold a high standard for myself and integrity. And I like to, surround myself with people that are the same. So that kind of makes me a hypocrite if I'm on a platform that doesn't have the same values per se. Now, that's taking it far out there. But I just wanted to, I want to share my journey and my thought process while we're going through this. So hopefully you guys don't mind me talking about this kind of stuff. But that's kind of where my headspace is. Like short term, I'm not knee-jerk reacting to anything right now. I am assessing it. We're going to see how it plays out. But you know what? If this doesn't get handled and it gets worse and the viewer experience on Twitch continues to degrade, then we might have to look at other platforms of live streaming, because I love live streaming. But anyway, so that's my little soapbox story, and that's it. Anyway, we got Path of Exile new league coming up, boys. Let's talk about the good stuff. I'm super excited about it. And I got to say, I tried a new game out over the weekend, Arc Raiders, which was a extraction looter. It was a lot of fun. Now, unfortunately, it drops on the 30th, but man, did it pique my interest. It was a lot of fun. So I'm still on the fence of whether or not I'm going to play it, but we'll see. We got a lot of stuff coming. We got a big update coming in Path of Exile 2 in December. We're going to be talking about so much stuff. I think 0.4 and POE 2 is going to be a banger. So we got a lot of stuff and a lot of content to talk about in this channel. I'm going to hope you stick around for the journey. I'd love to have you. And as always, thank you for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it's the best way to support my content. If you subscribe to this channel, it gets me out to other eyes and views, and that is the best way to get through the YouTube algorithm, which is slicing and dicing all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you next time. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.